In the darkness of space, we find our light, a community strong. In unity we stand, Obsidian Fleet hand in hand.
And I think we're live for our super duper secret episode that we planned. Because, yeah, we were meant to start this about half an hour ago, but I've had some technical issues, and I only just got in at 8 o'clock. So yes, we are live for another edition of Fleetcast, and this week we are reviewing episode 3, Boom. But as per usual, I am joined by the amazing Ben. How have you been this week, my lovely?
I haven't been too bad, thank you. How about you, my dear?
It's busy. It's been very busy. I've literally just rushed in. But yes, we are here. Oh, and we've got again on the screen. There we go. We've got again. We keep disappearing off the screen because we're using a different program and we're still trying to get used to it. So sorry, you just had a grey screen. But yes, we are reviewing this episode. This episode came out about, what, 6-7 weeks ago, if not longer?
It was the week before Comic-Con, which was the end of May.
Oh God!
So it's like the week before the end of May.
So that was. So yeah, it's about.
8.
It's about 8.
Yeah, 6.
About 6 or 7 weeks. Hello, Chris. Chris is joining us as per usual with the pod people. This is the new thing when pod people come on. Yes. Do you like the blue? I think it looks awesome, doesn't it, Chris? He's appreciating the TARDIS blue that we are now surrounded by.
I can't see the TARDIS blue.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I can in a second.
You can, because you're going to go on the... You're going to go on
I
it,
am.
aren't you? Yes.
I've got to do the thing so that I can see it at the side.
See, yes. Chris appreciated the pod people dance that I've now got for if people join who are pod people, because we need to appreciate the pod people and the fact that they join us week in, week out. We've got Phoebe, we have Ben, we have Andy. You know, you guys join us every week, and it's fantastic, and we really appreciate that you do that for us. But yes, we are going to be reviewing episode 3, Boom. Okay, as per usual, going into this episode, I didn't watch this episode when it came out because I got on a very, very big high horse and was like, I'm not watching it. And then I binge watched it and I was like, oh, no, I need more. And then I had to wait weeks and weeks and weeks, and then I binge watched the second part. So I've pretty much watched these episodes in batches, and I don't like how I've did that. I need to get back to us being able to watch it properly. I need it not to be available on iPlayer and me have to watch it at the time.
I just need it to go back to how... I will continue to go on this particular high horse. I will continue down this road. I want them to go back to how they did the simulcasts for the anniversary specials. Just do it all 6-7 p.m. UK time, and then it all goes live on everything then.
Yeah, I can't be doing this. It stresses me out. And the fact it's stressing us out, because when we did the episodes around Christmas time, we absolutely loved doing it. Literally, I can remember we were literally watching the episode, and then within an hour, we were coming on and talking about it.
Mm.
And
yeah, I think the exception was...
I think maybe the first one.
No, I think it was the second one, because we recorded that literally the day before the third one came out.
Yes, because you were going somewhere on the Sunday, weren't you? Because they came out on a Sunday then, didn't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to my girlfriend's that evening, so I was like, I can't do that one.
Yeah.
So, and then the following Sunday, I wasn't going to hers, so
yeah,
it was
so
fantastic.
I can remember that we did something different then. But I'm hoping with the next series that we'll get back to doing that. It could just be we have a special slot for Doctor Who, because I'm actually quite enjoying us doing a live on a Wednesday with this. We might have to, if your schedule allows it, we might have to steal the alternative Wednesday slot.
To be fair, Wednesdays tend to be easier days for me anyway. The exceptions are the weeks where I'm doing a stock count because I'm up at like
stupid o'clock.
Yeah, stupid o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm in work. I'm in work at 7:45 on those days.
I'm in work at 8 at that time. Every day I'm in.
Oh,
and I have to get a childminder.
fudge that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, fudge that.
Yes. So this might be our plan going forward. We're not sure. We're gonna have to see when the new series comes out. On what hand? Because we've got still what 4 episodes left of this.
5 after this one.
Well, no, because we're doing the last one together, aren't we?
Oh yes, because the last one's 2-parter.
Yes, we are doing the last ones together because.
Oh, we love you too, Chris.
Yes, and Chris, we are happy to have you here tonight. So we are glad that we are getting you through Hump Day. But yes, so going into this episode, I wasn't sure what to expect. This is one of those episodes that I looked at it and thought, boom. I thought, maybe it's going to be like Boomtown. Maybe we're going to have that type of vibe, or we're going to have those aliens coming back. I was quite happy if we were going to have that, but then... Okay, going into this episode, I was very confused because... it's one of those openings that I don't really expect. It goes straight into the chaos.
Yeah, the thing is, this episode, so for context for those who don't know, this episode was written by Stephen Moffat, who was the showrunner during the Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi era.
Yes.
It shows in the opening. The opening is textbook him.
It does. And obviously, what I find quite strange is this boom was actually part of the 3rd production block alongside Space Babies. So literally, this was... How they did it was really strange because it's not how you would expect them to do the order. Because obviously... No, it's okay. We're back. We're good. I've already fixed it. You're about 30. You're about 20 seconds behind us, but yeah, we're great. I've actually got it on the screen. It's because I clicked. This is why, if you were in Obsidian Fleet's server this afternoon, I was discussing the fact that I need a different setup. I need a second screen. I have literally just got a laptop. I need to have a second screen so I can have all my information around me. I need a battle station setup, and they mocked me earlier in thing because I was like, I need lights, I need battle stations, I need this.
Are you kidding? I sit there when I'm playing blinking strategy games, wishing that I had blinking. Because I play it on my desktop, which connects to a 40-inch TV.
Yeah, I need that.
It's like, I want a second screen here, I want a third screen here. Like, I want every single menu open on a different screen.
Yeah, no, 100%. I literally want to be like, I am on the bridge of the USS Enterprise with everything displayed. I literally want that in my life. And I'm going to have to go and see if I can find an extra screen tomorrow. Because I need this. If we're going to be doing these podcasts via the way that we're doing them now, I need my information around me, because I can't do this. But yes, so this episode opens up on a battlefield.
Yeah, and you get the little bit with the bloke's daughter back at the base camp.
Yeah, and it's a really, really strange opening because it's not what you would expect from this type of episode.
Yeah.
I need Ben and Becca's battle stations made into a meme. Well, you, my little queen of memes and shitposting, you can do that. You have my full permission. I will even make a serious face. Here we go. There we go. You've got my serious face. That is now my serious face for my battle stations. But yes, so this episode opens up on a battlefield. We obviously get to meet the priests, which harks back to
the entire Church of the Papal Mainframe thing.
Yes, and I love it.
And yeah, because that was a big thing running through Stephen Moffat's run as well.
Yes. But I didn't actually realise this was a Stephen Moffat episode until you've said that. I didn't realise. I literally didn't connect for some reason.
this was actually the episode of the season I was most excited for going in.
Okay.
Purely because he was writing it.
Did that excitement carry you through?
I think it kept me going for a couple of points where I would have maybe been losing interest normally.
Okay.
Because I'll get it out there early on. It's not the most exciting of episodes. It's not a bad episode, but it's not massively exciting.
I've got a very different opinion. I really, really vibe with this episode. My only issue is, and we'll get to that because I probably have quite a lot of issues, to be fair. I had the issue with the fact of the other soldier, the female soldier, because I did not expect that to happen.
So, interesting point on this. So, for those who don't know, the female soldier in this episode is played by the same actress. Can't remember her name, because I didn't prep for this part of the conversation, even though I knew this part of the conversation would come up. Because, you know, why would I do prep work? Like,
yeah.
Come on. But the actress is playing new companion next season. However, in an interview that I read, I can't remember what it was, but Russell T Davies has said that she is playing a different character next season. So because I thought that it was going to be this character coming back. There was something I read, I think it was literally Tuesday or Wednesday when I was on the train.
Yes.
Where he was talking about it, he actually said, no, she's playing a completely different character next series.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
Cool.
I didn't expect it. I thought that it was going to be, you know, the same person. I'm trying to have a quick look and see if it's who the actress is, because I can't see. Is it Varada? I think.
Varada Sethu.
Yeah.
I will.
And obviously, she's playing a character called Mundi, and we meet her. But every Doctor Who fan pretty much lost their shit because they were like, "Why is she there? Why is she there?" But wasn't this episode filmed before she got the role?
Yes, this episode was filmed, I believe, in like 2022 or early 2023.
I could probably tell you.
For those who don't know, most of this series was filmed not long after the specials wrapped.
It was filmed in March and April 23.
Yeah, so this one was in the can for a year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I am mildly hacked off with the fact that I get it, I'm all for having lead time, but I feel like they're going overboard with it.
Yeah, you know, it took them a year, and this was the final block. So these episodes were the final block. So they filmed very, very, very much out of order, to be fair, I feel.
Yeah, because the first one filmed for this season was the next episode, 73 yards.
Because it's an episode that didn't need the Doctor. So I think they filmed 73 yards.
And Bubble were the first two.
Yeah, so they filmed a lot of the first lot of episodes without is it Nugatti?
Shooty, yeah.
Shooty.
Yeah. Which I'm going to get a bugbear that I'm going to be bringing up over the next 2 weeks out there right now. I don't like they put two Dr. Light episodes right on top of each other. Yeah,
I very much feel like I feel the same. I feel very much like they did the order wrong. It feels very, very wrong, the order that they've done these episodes in. It feels very much like, I don't know, I can't even describe the vibe of it.
So, without giving spoilers for any episodes, the way that this season should have been structured was Space Babies, followed by a Devil's Cord, followed by 73 Yards, followed by, at that point, I would probably be going, I believe I said Rogue to you earlier next, followed by, what was the other one? Followed by Dot and Bubble will come after that?
Yeah.
basically Dot and Bubble would become the one directly before the finale.
Which makes sense in how the story is perceived, because obviously we're not going to give spoilers for those episodes, but you'll understand. We can discuss that after the next episode. But yes,
yeah, and also just this one and the next one should have gone the other way round. The plots would have made so much more sense.
I think so. But yes, so we literally meet John, what's his name? John Francis Vactor on this battlefield, and he is he's an Anglican army, and basically they're on a war-torn planet, and him and another bloke are trying to get to the next station, aren't they? They're trying to get to the next station. They're trying to get out of the trouble, and they meet a robotic ambulance, and in the most god-awful way of this episode, they are then killed by the ambulance.
Well, no, because his mate steps on the landmine, which then causes him to explode.
Yes, but then we have, obviously, we have Vactor, then Vactor's injured. He's obviously lost his eyesight, hasn't he?
Yeah, which, by the way, the work they've done with... Don't worry, it's very clearly contact lens work, but they did a really good job of portraying an ocular injury there.
Yes.
It looked realistic without looking extreme.
Yeah, I will give Disney dollars, its respect.
I don't even think this one's Disney money. I just think it's...
Everything's Disney money, man.
I just think it's the makeup team knowing what they're doing, personally.
Well, yes, but I've got a little thing for you. How many years ago was it since the Doctor left Rose on Bad Wolf Bay?
It was 18 years ago. Actually, no, 18 years ago the first time.
Yesterday. It was 18 years yesterday. But yes, it's scary how long Doctor Who has been running now. We've had it back nearly 20 years.
Well, because I remember watching So I didn't watch Rose the day it was aired. I saw that on the rerun the following week on BBC, on the Friday on BBC Three.
Back in the day.
And it was only because my dad kept hammering on about it.
Yeah, it was good,
I watched it, I was like, yeah, it's not bad. The one that actually grabbed me was actually End of the World.
Oh, God, yeah, those were back in the day. But yes, talking about this episode, I think we need to have a reminiscent episode at one point. But yes, so the Vactor runs into this ambulance, and we realise that Vactor's mate, the other Anglican priest, was trying to get him back to the base so they don't get discovered by these AI ambulances, because it turns out that if you are injured, you are a waste of money for them, and they destroy you.
And also, can we just acknowledge that they clearly haven't put a lot of money into these ambulances to begin with, because their scanners are literally a taser.
Yes. But Vector snuffs it. This is all within the first 5 minutes, okay? And he is turned into a cylinder. Which I can't help but be absolutely disgusted with how they did this cylinder. It was done so well, but the fact that you get an eye in this cylinder. I
didn't notice the eye.
Yeah, no, there was an eye, and there was other bits, and it was good. It did remind me of the diary. No, the spell book from Hocus Pocus with the eye.
So I was reminded of two things by this cylinder. Well, there's a third thing which I'm not going to go into because sort of keeping it child friendly. But I was reminded of the pillar from, is it Hellraiser 3?
I don't know, I don't think I've seen it.
So in one of the Hellraiser films, you've got sort of the face with all like the different people that that Cenobites were, and it's got this sort of weird, almost fleshy texture, if I remember it correctly.
Right, okay.
And bear in mind, I saw this exactly once when I was quite a bit younger.
Okay.
I was also put to mind of the Necronomicon
Okay.
from the Evil Dead movies,
But
particularly the more recent one.
yeah. I know exactly what you mean. But yes, this AI ambulance is absolutely terrifying. And then we get the Doctor and Ruby arrive. And as they step out of the TARDIS, they hear Vector's screams.
And what I love here is, in my opinion, this is the second best use of the new Doctor's theme in the season. Which, also, it's not used that much.
Okay.
Like, when you compare it with how often they would use the Doctor's motif, particularly during the David Tennant, Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi runs, the Doctor's motif is barely in this season. Which I'm shocked at, because it's a really good piece of music, even if it does sound like Thunderbirds.
I think I'm going to have to listen to it because I don't think I've heard it properly in all its glory.
So the point where it's used best this season is actually at the climax of the final episode.
Okay.
Or the climax of the majority of the plot, I should say.
By the time we get to those episodes, I am definitely going to have to do a proper rewatch of those episodes. But yes.
I did a rewatch of this one and the next one this morning.
And obviously they give chase to investigate what is going on. And the Doctor steps on a landmine and cannot move because he will set it off.
Yeah. Which... So as we saw earlier, when Vader's matey boy stepped on it, this thing turns you into the bomb.
Yeah, it's quite dramatic, to be fair. It doesn't take any prisoners whatsoever.
What I love is, first of all, this thing lights up like a Christmas tree.
Yes.
And also, but they acknowledge how ridiculous that is, and the Doctor even says, well, bright lights look good in a showroom.
Yes, but obviously, you become the bomb, and the Doctor's like, if I let this bomb go off, I am going to destroy half this planet.
Well, no, he just says the battlefield. It's later on when Mundy scans him after trying to kill him.
Yes.
That she then goes, if this detonates, then you will destroy this entire planet.
Yeah. And obviously, they realise that the landmine is from the Vanguard Weapons Manufacturing Company.
Which is a great throwback, because Vanguard first came up in the first episode that Moffat wrote for the Revive series, which was...
the London Big Jack.
Yeah, because that was where the square disc gun came from.
Yes, and isn't that...
And turned it into a banana grove.
Yes. Because... But do you not feel that this planet is the banana grove from the future?
I didn't get that from it.
See, I kind of... That was where my brain went when I thought, oh, banana grove. I was like, oh my god, that's the banana grove! Because it just amuses me, because Jack Harkness is the person I want to be honest. He does not give a shit, and I love that character. I wish I could do that.
He is the character that I always want to see back more. Yes. He is, in my opinion, the best companion of the Revive series.
Yes.
Like, by a country mile.
I have a lot of companions I would probably put ahead of him, but not many. He is in my top 3.
So the only reason why, and River comes a close second for this reason...
Top 4, because I forgot River for a second.
Yeah. Because they're the only ones that actually give the Doctor a run for his money.
Yes.
Sort of, most of the time the companion is there basically to be the thick one.
Yes, Nerdy Up North, it is brave, but we don't do football here.
Yeah, that's true, unless it's World Cup final, then I will do it.
That's the only time Ben's interested in football.
Yeah, we were robbed last time.
We might be robbed yet tonight. Thank you. I do look cute. This is the look of the stressed mother who only got in at 8 o'clock this evening. But thank you for the compliment. And I hope you are prepared for the chaos that is the quiz night on Saturday. Because we are all going to a quiz night. And if anything, like last time, it was chaos. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And yes, Chris, football is meh.
So yes, so we have the Banana Grove, and to avoid this, the Doctor tries to stand on one foot, and Ruby gives him the closest thing to her, and it is the cylinder that contains Vector. And then the Doctor stood there holding the cylinder.
Yeah.
Just in time for
Monday to turn up.
with Vector's daughter, and for a whole amount of chaos.
I'm sorry, I just saw the comment.
Yes, if you don't know, Nerdy Up North, who is Paul, because I'm guessing it is Paul, likes to try and beat people. Mostly Chris, because Chris is quite cheeky. And we just like to give our cult daddy a lot of stress. Because he is the cult master, if you didn't know. That's okay. You don't need to be a fan. You can just stay and hang. We're all good.
Yeah. Long story short, super old alien changes his face a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty much the lore, the lore of the whole series. It's not much more than that. That's the basics.
Yeah.
You can screenshot that, or screen record that. I have got no issue with declaring that.
Oh well.
And now you've made my very southern friend blush.
Actually, that's more to do with the heat, because I've got all the windows closed.
To fan you.
I've got a fan on, but it's on like the lowest setting, so you're not hearing it the whole way through.
You can't hear it. If it's not hearing my fan, it's not going to hear you. But yes, so we have Splice, Vector's daughter, we have Mundy, we have Rose, Ruby, not
Ruby.
Rose.
No, don't mix her up with Rose.
I do that
That's what the Doctor did in the Goblin song.
I do this every episode.
Look, just because she is a teenage blonde does not mean she's Rose.
Every damn time. Every damn episode I do this. But yes. So it is a pure moment of chaos. More than when Paul went topless on his own stream on Sunday. This is not going to be happening on this stream because me and Ben are very much... Well, Ben can, but I ain't, because the Discord and YouTube will get very upset, and I am no.
I will not be doing that because I am currently somewhat sunburnt from a trip to the beach.
See, I went to the beach and it was raining.
Oh no, it was very sunny when I went, and I might have fallen asleep on the beach.
Oh dear. So yes, so we have got the Anglican army, the Cylinder's daughter, and we have got the TARDIS duo, all basically staring daggers at each other, and Monday shoots the Doctor, which attracts the ambulance. I would like to just talk about the ambulance for a second, because this is the second time-ish that we've seen the face.
It's the...
Ish. I did say ish. I was saying ish because this is the first time that we properly see her. So yes, this AI ambulance is very, very familiar. We have seen her many times before. So she was the maid when Mavity happened. She was the medical officer on Space Babies. She was the tea lady with the Beatles. And
now she's an ambulance.
Oh, and an ambulance. My sums didn't sum then. No, he is not showing you his white bits. Paul. Behave.
But yes, confirmed, I do have tan lines.
So yes, we now have a little bit of an over serious arc happening, because who is this woman?
I mean, do you want me to ask that? 'Cause I can now.
No, we are not. Well, we could, but we can't, because we know what happens. Because spoilers. Because we're filming this a month and a half after
Yeah,
it's come out.
Yes, Torchwood was a very good show.
Torchwood is amazing. I can't wait for it to be back.
Can we review that at some point as well?
Well, yeah, that's going to be a given. We're going to be doing that because once. That's a silly question. So yes, so we then have Monday, who shoots the Doctor.
Which, brave move.
Yeah.
This very rarely goes well for people.
Yeah. It's coming back. They've got like a special.
Is it?
Yeah, they're doing like Torchwoody things. They're doing stuff.
Ooh. I thought we were just gonna give me an excuse to dust off the DVDs on the shelf.
It's Gwen Cooper and I want to say
Reese.
I'll find out and I'll do.
Reese was a husband.
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to think who else is involved in it, because it's not just Gwen. I want to say it's my girl my girl Kate.
Oh, Kate Stewart.
Yes.
Ooh, I am always a fan of that. Because...
I will find out more information and I will do a short around it so that people know.
Yes, Chris, Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, totally.
Which, admittedly, you can't have enough Reese Witherspoon.
No, but yes. So the ambulance is called, and Monday and Ruby are basically forced to distract this ambulance, and I really like the way they go about it. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, so Monday tells Ruby, who, by the way, I will quickly double back for one line that the Doctor had earlier in the episode, where the Doctor tells Monday that she should marry Ruby because her name is Ruby Sunday, and then she'd be Monday Sunday.
Yes, it's just some of the lines that the Doctor...
You can tell...
comes out with in this series are absolutely hilarious, and you could tell the writers.
You can tell Stephen Moffat originally cut his teeth in TV writing comedy.
Yeah, because the wit in this episode is it's very, very quick, and I really enjoyed the wit in this episode. It was just really good, and obviously they distract the AI ambulance so it doesn't treat
the Doctor, who is going completely crazy trying to analyse.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, he's not human. He's got 2 hearts, so his blood pressure, I have to assume, is stupidly high for it.
Yes.
Yes, this is the new Doctor Who. And you've got... So... Monday tells Ruby to shoot her. Ruby's like, no, I'm not doing that. Only to be told, it's fine, it's on the lowest setting. Basically equivalent to the scene in Strange New Worlds episode 5 when Number 1 and La'an... You've not watched Strange New Worlds?
No, I didn't gel with it.
Best Star Trek since... Anyway. But... There's a scene in that where they're shooting at each other with the phasers set on the lowest setting just to basically do a quick draw thing. And here, that's basically what she's saying there. It's on the lowest setting, it's just to draw the attention. But her mate happens to come round the corner.
Yes, Canterbury James Oliphant. Because I love his name.
Relation to Timothy Oliphant, or maybe his.
I love the name Oliphant. I think it's brilliant. Who's also known as Canto.
So he's also the region where, Charmander comes from. which is
so he
important.
basically has a crush on Monday, and he's unaware that Ruby isn't a threat, and he shoots her and he injures her to the point that
more than that.
she's dying on the battlefield, and the Doctor then realizes something really important, that there is no bad guy on this planet. There is no nemesis for this battle. There is the Castorians don't exist, and that the weapons company, the Valley Guard, are basically just making money by making a fake alien.
And then proceeding to keep the casualty rates up because casualties are good for business.
Yes. And, they're the reason that everyone is there on the battlefield and people are dying and there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
And then we get to the scene which absolutely had me creased over laughing, because I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that these ambulances that are so badly made all converge on this scene.
Yeah. This is like, guys, you're kind of overkilling it here.
It felt like a scene from Red Dwarf when you have the little cleaning machines with the
whole setup of this episode could have been Red Dwarf.
To be fair, it could have been, and I was half expecting Rimmer or Lister to appear any second, to be honest.
Probably both.
Both. Chris,
and then Holly comes up on the ambulance.
Yes. Okay. So, I think Chris should be the next Doctor Who assistant. He is short, blonde, and ginger,
and has a secretary outfit.
I already have a secretary outfit. Fair enough. If that is what floats your boat, and that is what you want to see on television, Paul. Okay then. I'm sure if you said to both Lee and Chris, they would do you a Doctor Who episode. I 100% convinced they would do it.
And I'm sure that if you suggested exactly this to Russell T Davies, he would probably be on board too.
Yeah. So I think you've got a winning enterprise there going for you. But yes, so we have utter chaos in this episode going on, and we've got ambulances, we've got we've got like the bombs on the floor, you've got cylinders, you've got dead people in cylinders, you've got people being shot. There was just so much in this episode in 30 minutes, and it stresses me. This episode stressed me because I was like, I don't understand anymore. There's just too much going on. And then we have the woman who's then going to be the companion next year, and I'm just like, I just need a moment.
The thing is, if it had then been the companion for next year, my exact thoughts would have been, yeah, they definitely had Moffat right this one.
Yeah, and to be fair, I wouldn't be too sad if it was the same character.
No, because they actually wrote so the thing that I will give Moffat credit for, he's very good at writing characters. I will say he has had a history of struggling a bit with female characters.
Yes.
But to be fair, I think so does Russell T Davies.
I think every single writer of Doctor Who has struggled with women, yet they still keep picking the companion to be female consistently.
What they need, honestly, I think the one thing that the Chris Chibnall run did right is the structure of the TARDIS team was more in line with what you had during the William Hartnell.
Yes, obviously you had Amy, and you had my boy Rory the Roman. Yep.
Well, no, I'm talking going back to the first Doctor here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying like those were like obviously back then you had Susan, you had
Susan and
Barbara and
Ian.
That's it. I was like,
I can't forget that one. It's my dad's name.
But yeah, I very much find that they struggle with female characters, but this episode, I found that the female characters were all right. You know, I didn't mind the fact that we had these characters, and I wouldn't mind if this character became the companion in the future. I am going to be very interested in how they do it, and I really hope it doesn't go down the route of what's her name, Clara. I hope it doesn't go down that same route.
No. So, I was concerned they were going to go down that route with Ruby this season.
Mm-hmm.
Without going too far into spoilers, they went down a parallel course to that, but they didn't go quite as cringy, I don't think.
Yeah, they didn't quite dive as deep into it.
Yeah.
But the next scene in this episode, I feel very much like it did dive into the cringe, because we then have the hologram of the dad.
Takes over the ambulance.
Yes, and he basically takes over all these ambulances, and basically attempts to try and stop them. And then we've got the ambulances attempting to stop Vector, and it just... It's chaos. Like these 5 minutes, you're like, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? You've got Ruby who's still dying on the floor. It stressed me out.
See, what... So, the bit that stressed me out here is I found myself going through, and I quite often do this early in a Doctor's run, I found myself going through what would previous Doctors do in this scenario. Because this Doctor's solution is to stand there, say I'm sorry, and cry a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that don't feel right. Traditionally, the Doctor's response would be the ambulances are threatening to kill him, so his response would just be, okay, well, if you're going to shoot me anyway, I'll just take my foot off this landmine, and then we go.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
I was quite miffed that didn't happen, because that's basically every Doctor's go-to move in this scenario.
Yeah. And this is why I'm really enjoying this version of the Doctor, because it is very, very different. It feels, I don't want to say it feels a lot more modern, but it does feel like the modern Doctor that we kind of need for this era of television that we're going into.
So long as he grows out of the just crying at them phase, I'm all for it.
I think he will. I think
he does towards the end of this series, to be fair.
Yes, but I also don't think he's just crying for the point of it. You know, every time that we've seen him crying, there are reasons behind it, like we'll see in the next episode.
Yeah. No, not in the next one. It's the following one.
It's the next one.
I'm not saying it's about reason. I'm just saying it makes the character feel, for lack of a better word, impotent.
Yeah. If it's no, I don't see that. But I think it's one of those that we are looking at it from two different points of view. Yeah. You're looking at it from the man point of view, and I'm looking at it from the woman point of view. And sometimes our points of views don't always mix.
Yep.
But it's not it's not a bad thing.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it's an inherently bad thing. He doesn't feel heroic here, is what I'm getting at.
But I don't think he's meant to be the hero in this episode. I know it's Doctor Who, I know it's his show, but I don't think he's necessarily meant to be the hero all the time, because we have Benter, who is the hero, and obviously he succeeds, he ends the war. He heals Ruby, and they escape. And obviously then it ends with the episode with Monday promising to take splicing, and she's quite happy to see everybody leave and to get back to whatever her life is going to be. But this is how they end this episode, is why I'm not disappointed in seeing this character again.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, the high point of the end of this episode, first of all, the fact that, I'll give her credit here, she does more than a lot of companions do, which is when the Doctor tells Splice to keep her faith, she calls the Doctor out on the fact that he said he hates faith earlier in the episode.
I think this would be a very good character to have in the series because she's not from the Earth now. And
Yeah.
I very much miss that about Doctor Who. We have not had a companion other than Jack and River. And
Who wasn't on Earth?
Yeah, and I think we need to get back to, we need to have a companion who isn't necessarily born on Earth.
Also not from the present day.
Yeah, I just think it would be a bit different. Don't get me wrong, I am loving Ruby. But I just think going forward, because we know that she's going to be leaving, that's all out there. We know that that's going to be happening.
Yeah, they've said she's in, I think, 2 or 3 episodes next year, and that's it.
I just think it would be interesting to see someone who's not from Earth. But all important moment, what is your score going to be, Ben?
I am giving it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Dun, dun,
It.
dun. Do you like the score system for this one?
I can't see the scores
Is
yet.
it not come up yet?
I'm about 36 behind, aren't I?
Okay, so it's you've given it 3 inventors out of
Yes.
yes. So
Also, one last point on the subject of him.
okay.
Am I the one who loved the fact that he was stood there just doing the
Doing the what?
like the sort of blank smile wave at the end,
Yes, that was not creepy whatsoever.
and it was just so funny.
Yes. So my score, I originally went for 4,
Okay.
but on discussing, I've realised how much this episode actually stressed me out when I watched it. So I have changed my score because I am the keeper of everything, and I can. So my score is 3 as well. So this episode gets a 6 out of 10, which is mid. It's mid ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're the keeper of the scores because I don't do that. You're the keeper of the scores.
I have the spreadsheet.
You have the spreadsheet. You are the keeper of the scores for Doctor Who. Where does this episode lie in our episodes that we've done so far?
Give me a moment and I will tell you. Because I have a Google sheet for this.
It's because I've trained him.
Yeah, I'm going to start asking you for your scores ahead of time so that I can actually work this out.
Yes, for anyone who hasn't watched this before, no one gets to know my score beforehand because I do not want them influenced. I can be influenced, but they can't.
Yeah, right. So, bearing in mind that I actually forgot to put your score in for the Devil's Cord.
That would have been like a 4 or 5 because I love that episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I saw that. I think Paul up above said that it was the Jinx Monsoon episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Paul! I absolutely love Jinx. I want them more episodes. Even though the episode scared the crap out of me because it felt very much old Doctor Who, I want them back.
The thing is,
I love it. She was amazing.
They were so good.
She was amazing. Seriously, she was so good.
So, looking at the score sheet and assuming that you gave it a 5, because
it sounds like I'm pretty sure. Oh, I could probably look. 2 seconds. I can look.
Yeah,
I can look.
I gave it 4, and I'm pretty sure you gave it a higher score than I did.
Yeah, I can. I can have a proper look. Ben is the keeper of the scores. Yes, he has to keep track of something because I can't do everything. Let me have a look because I've got
as much as she will try.
Yeah, I gave it a 5 because I've got it on my phone. Look, I've got the little score.
Yep. Yeah. So based on that, our best episode review so far was the Giggle,
because it was amazing.
That was a 10 out of 10.
That was the best episode ever.
Day of the Doctor called.
But we haven't seen that yet because the Timey-Wimey Will hasn't brought it to us yet.
Yeah. Then that puts this in. So then Devil's Cord, the 1996 movie, The Girl Who Waited, are joint second.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in joint third with the Star Beast.
Okay, so it's in good company. It's in good company.
Yeah. So and then after that, Wild Blue Yonder's the only 7. Revolution of the Daleks, Fear Her, and Space Babies all got 6. And tied for last place are Church on Ruby Road and Ascension of the Cybermen / Timeless Children.
Yeah. We didn't like those episodes so much, did we?
Yeah. The latter I always knew was going to... to be honest, I'm surprised that I scored it as highly as I did.
Yes.
But when I went back and rewatched, it was quite good in some aspects.
I like this episode. I feel very much
Yeah.
like this series of Doctor Who is very much arcing back to series 1 of this. I feel very much like we, with the overarching, you know, with the woman in the ambulance and seeing this woman in lots of different places, I feels very much like Bad Wolf. You know, how we kept seeing Bad Wolf in all these different places.
Yes, very much so. I'll say of this episode in particular. This episode, in my opinion, was written by the best writer they have on an episode this season.
Yes.
I am slightly disappointed that I'm not also giving it the best episode, but I think there are technical difficulties that come into play.
And I think how it was, what am I trying to say? How they laid the screen out and how they laid the season out with the different episodes in the wrong place. I think that very much had...
hurt it.
Yeah, that very much hurt it. And I don't necessarily think that would... It wouldn't have been... Yeah, it wouldn't have been such a low score if it'd been in the right order. Which means, I think if... At the end of the series, I think maybe we need to rescore them as if we had them in the order that you spoke about at the beginning of this episode. I think we need to do that for when we do the final episode. Yeah. I think we need to do an alternative score of how we think the season would have looked if it was in the right order. Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with this or not. To me, this episode felt like it should have been in this Doctor's second season rather than his first, and certainly not this. It feels like a second season episode, not a first season.
Yes, and I possibly think that was because we had the last series how it is, and the fact that we had the big opening of a new companion in the Christmas episode instead of it being the start of a series. I think they were writing a lot of these episodes as if it was a second series, which is not bad. But I think we've not been allowed... And I also think it suffers from the fact that we have less episodes.
Yeah, they're not giving the audience enough time to really get to know these characters.
Yeah, I think it definitely suffers from that. But I am loving every moment of watching these episodes. Obviously, this is a while ago that we watched them. I will be rewatching next week's episode. Do you want to give what the next week's episode is?
So the next episode is 73 Yards. That is the first of 2 Doctor Light episodes where the Doctor ends up disappearing because he doesn't look where he's stepping.
Yes.
Now, I feel like what this Doctor needs is he needs something perpetually pointing his head down at his feet. Because you have 2 consecutive episodes.
Yes. Yes. It is.
And this is another reason why it should have been a different order.
Yes, but this is the reason because the actor was filming Sex Education. It was the fact
Which is an amazing show. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it right now.
I think this season definitely suffers from the fact that they didn't have the actor's full attention.
Yeah, he was also doing Barbie, because he was one of the Kens.
Yeah, so there was a lot going on for this guy around this time.
Yeah, which, that's the other thing, if you haven't watched Barbie, go and watch Barbie. Barbie is amazing.
But yes, he needs a cane, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just to check where he's walking.
But... Yes, so I've got nothing else around Doctor Who. I don't overly have any announcements because I think I traumatized you enough with my last announcement on a Wednesday episode, which I really do apologize for because the emotional damage I gave you that day, I'm really sorry. But Paul is absolutely thriving in the comms role. He's just epic. He's jumped in with like 2 feet, an arm, a leg, and he's all over it. He's doing the. If you haven't voted for your Obsidian Day award nominations, get them in. You've got until Sunday. We've got lots planned. We've got a couple of watch-alongs. We've got Fleetcast. You've got 6 hours of Fleetcast over the 2 days. What else have you got? Oh, you've got Star Trek Online with Dulac. You've got...
I do need to jump back on that.
You do. And we've also got Star Trek Adventures Light with Cypher, and that's going to be epic because I get to play Dr. Crusher and Hoshi on both games. I'm very excited about playing that. But yes, so I don't have anything else to add. Do you have anything to add, Ben?
No.
Okay, so I think we shall leave that there. So, as per usual, stay lovely, stay logical. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
In the vastness of